Welcome to this second edition of our Words of Hope during this coronavirus pandemic. I would like to be, in fact I planned to record this out in the open somewhere in the beautiful countryside, but somehow we're a bit locked down and under quarantine, so welcome to my front garden. In today's programme though, because we're all working from home, it should really make no difference. We bring you three excellent little samples. We'll be talking about anxiety with Karen Holford, a family therapist and our family ministries director. We'll be looking at some ways that we can podcast and share on social media better with Tihomir Lazic, who works at Newbold. He's a professor at Newbold College and uses the internet a lot for teaching and for public campus ministries. And then Audrey, our fearless Audrey Andersson, talks about fear and anxiety in this current environment. Welcome to the programme, and we start off with Karen, who during a morning worship this week just shared a little bit about how to deal with anxiety.
And yesterday I was writing an article for to help families around the world manage their children's anxieties, and I guess in that it's not just about managing the children's anxiety, because the parents are anxious, and that's a big issue. When parents are anxious and the children can see that, how do we manage that? So in trying to help the parents help the children, I hope that they will also find things that will help them with their anxiety. And there's a lot of things that we can do when we're feeling anxious to lower anxiety. The most important thing is really to have healthy relationships, because when we feel loved, when we feel cared for, then our anxiety is lowered. When we have a hug, when we can, with those that are close to us, then that lowers our anxiety. When children can be close to their parents, to be held, to be touched, it lowers their anxiety. And when we look at 1 Corinthians 13, the first thing Paul says about love is to be patient, and that's something that's really important when we're all together. Patience even precedes kindness, and I had to think about that, and I think actually when we slow our lives down to put the other person first and go at their speed, when we take that time to put them first in our minds, then we're in a better place to find the kindness that we really need at this time. And whatever we're doing, whatever our priorities are for the day, the biggest has to be kind to those around us so that we lower their anxiety. And in doing that, we will also lower ours.
And Karen has got many more resources available on the TED website. That's ted.adventist.org, and then just look on the Family Ministries page for resources. Now, I've got to say I'm very impressed with what I've seen coming in from you. Many of you sharing worship services online, learning to use Zoom in very innovative ways, and sharing phone calls, all sorts of ways that while we're stuck in our houses, we're still able to communicate with people. Can we do it better? Well, I'm trying to learn every week, and one of the experts is Tihomir Lazic, who teaches online at Newbold, particularly because the campus is closed at the moment, so the theology students are all learning online. But he also runs public campus ministries and uses the internet a lot for teaching and leadership there. So I asked him just to give us a few tips on how we can maybe do things even better.
Here are some simple tips for hosting a virtual worship gathering for your congregation in times that you cannot have your regular public gatherings. Firstly, create a virtual worship service web page that you can then share and inform your congregations about via Facebook, YouTube channel, and MailChimp. Make sure that you keep all of these digital channels fully up to date. Once you do that, you have two options: to pre-record your sessions or to stream live. To pre-record different segments of your virtual worship, all you need is your smartphone, tripod, and phone holder. These days, you don't need any fancier equipment than this. For your congregational songs, you can find some thematically related lyrics videos on YouTube and then ask people to sing along. In case you would like to produce the video yourself, you can ask worship team to record the separate parts that they will then join in a common music video. And for that, you can use GarageBand, Logic Pro, Cubase, Pro Tools, Audacity. For singers to record their own voices on top of instrumental track, you can simply use some good, affordable USB condenser mic. In case you would like to avoid the hassle of mixing all these individual stems, you can simply contract some professional over Fiverr.com, Fiverr with double R. Your song can be edited, mixed and mastered for the price which ranges from $5 to $50 per song. Should you decide to go entirely live, beside your regular YouTube and Facebook platforms, I would highly recommend Zoom. This online platform is able to stream a high-definition video and audio and engage multiple participants that can just join you by clicking the link, and they can join in even group discussions. These were some of the ways that you can create meaningful, inspiring worship experience with minimal gear, cost and technical knowledge. May God bless you and keep you safe as you worship Him from your homes.
Thanks, Tihi. And for those of you watching, if you're doing something innovative or you've got a good way you can use technology, why don't you just write in and tell us? Of course, you can also look on our website, ted.adventist.org, where we've actually got a coronavirus update page, and there you can keep up on all sorts of things that are happening around the division. And now to Audrey to finish this little time and words of encouragement together. Audrey, do you get a little bit anxious sometimes, maybe just a little bit fearful?
As a child, I wished that I had an invisibility cloak that would let me go anywhere and everywhere and nobody would know. And now I am confronted by something which is invisible to my naked eye. I can't taste it, I can't smell it, I can't touch it. Well, I touch it, but I don't know that I've touched it. And the result is fear. Fear which is very palpable. You go out and I walk in the morning and people who would say good morning before turn their faces away and hurry as fast as they can away from me. And yet I'm confronted by other invisible realities. The reality of the internet, which enables me to sit in endless meetings on Zoom, or allows me to touch lives and connect with friends in New Zealand, Australia, America, and in the UK. But there is another invisible reality, the invisible reality of a Lord who does not leave us, and does not forsake us. David wrote in Psalm 27, "The Lord is my light and my salvation. Whom or what shall I fear? The Lord is the stronghold of my life. Of whom or what shall I be afraid?" As fear walks our streets and comes into our homes, we don't need to be afraid because we have an ever-present helper. Later in Psalm 27, David says in verse 5, "For in the day of trouble, he will keep me safe in his dwelling. He will hide me in the shelter of his tabernacle, and he will set me on a rock." The Lord is with us, and he will never, ever forsake us.